Alright, well, hey guys, Tommy here with TFL Classics. And myself, like I'm sure many of you out there, I'm pretty impacted by the current global situation. What it means is I have to spend a lot of time locked inside. And before I go crazy editing video after video after video, I thought I might as well take some time and try to learn a new skill. And it's one of my ultimate dreams to learn how to wrench on a car, to fix a car. And it's something I really haven't pursued in the past, so I thought this is a better time than any to learn something new about myself and to, pick up a new talent if possible. Now, full disclosure, I really have no mechanical ability whatsoever, and I'm trying my very hardest to teach myself how to turn a screwdriver in a wrench. I'm reading as many manuals as I can out there, watching as many videos, and I thought I might as well start digging into my pride and joy, this 1982 Mercedes 300D. I'm actually really worried about this because this car is my baby. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a very expensive car. $6,500 I think I paid for it, but it's a ton of money for me, and I just love this car. It's my absolute pride and joy, so I really don't want to mess it up in any ways. But might as well start learning somewhere. This car has a lot of stuff that we can address, a lot of little things that we can fix, and I figured, hey, if I'm gonna do it, might as well put it on YouTube. There's a small possibility that like 3 people are gonna care. So here we go. Time to start fixing stuff. This is probably the biggest issue with this car, which is in overall really good shape, but the climate control system really doesn't work at all. Well, it works super intermittently, but 90% of the time I push buttons, I flick dials, and nothing happens. Now, this is an automatic climate control system from 1982, so you somewhat expect it to fail after 38 years, and it has. It's actually a very complicated system, but I've done a ton of digging online, and I think that this button panel right here is actually the culprit. This is called the CCU. I ordered a new one, and let's take a look at what it does. Alright, so the CCU stands for Climate Control Unit, and it's basically that little panel that tells the car exactly how hot or cold I want it, how high I want the fan speed, and after a lot of digging online, I actually figured out that they have a problem where the solders inside the circuitry can fail altogether, which basically means you have no climate control, and I'm hoping that's the issue, because I went out and bought one of these. This is a rebuilt climate control unit from a company called Programma. I paid about $230 some for it. And this is what it looks like. So, same exact buttons that you see inside the car, and basically you can set the temperature using this dial, you can set the fan speed using these 3 buttons, and then you have a number of controls across the middle which direct where the air flows. So I'm hoping that this is going to fix the fan. Now, on our current system, the buttons in the middle actuate little vacuum pods inside the dash which tell the car where to send the air. Those actually do work because I can hear things hissing when I push the buttons, but the fan doesn't work and the climate setting doesn't work either, so I'm hoping that this is going to be our fix. Let's see. So I did look up a couple of videos on how I can actually remove this panel because I have to get through this wood trim before I can get to the actual control. And it looks like that I can simply pry it out using some kind of pry tool. I'm very worried about damaging the wood, and from the videos I've seen, it's actually wood that's glued onto a metal backing plate. So I have to get a special tool under here and kind of gently pry it out from the backing plate and try not to chip off the wood. I think it's going to be harder than it looks. I had these little trim removal wedges sitting around in our toolbox, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to kind of get this underneath here and pry it off. Some forums say you have to remove the radio, but one great video I found actually shows that you don't. You can simply get in between this gap to get this wood off. Now, let's see. How deep do I have to go to pry in there? Oh, radio just turned on. Alright, well that was super easy. Okay, so managed to get this off without damaging the wood, and now we can see the climate control unit, which is just behind this little plastic plate. So I'm thinking remove these screws and I'll be able to pull it out. And this should be holding in the actual unit itself. There it is. So here is our old climate control unit. Looks like there's a few plugs we're going to have to remove, and then hopefully this will just pull out. So going off of our new one here, it looks like they are virtually the same, which is exactly what I'd like to see. And looks like we have a number of pins on that end and a number of pins on that end. So 2 large plugs, and I think it should pop on out. It's just a matter of getting to those plugs. All right, so I got my little flashlight here. Definitely a little bit tight, but I think we should be able to squeeze it out. All right, rad, there we go. So the actual units themselves look the same. Check out these little guys. I think these are the bulbs that are actually supposed to secure into the back of the unit so you can see what's going on at night, and that'll explain why I haven't been able to see the climate control at night, because the bulbs are just dangling there in the dashboard and not doing anything. So that's plugged in. So moment of truth, let's see if our fan will come on, because in the old unit the fan wouldn't come on. So I'm going to start with it off. Turn the car on, at least. Okay. Ah! I fixed something! Check that out. So now we've got fan coming through the vents. Let's see if I can actually change the direction here. I think we're going to need vacuum for that, so let me start the car. Okay, so with the car running, first of all, fan. Yep. Okay, that's the economy. Let's try the defrost. Yep, coming out the defrost. How about the top vents? No more out the defrost, and coming out the side vents at least. Our final step is to reattach this wood trim piece, which is held on by these 4 little knobs, or nubs, actually. That's the technical term, and I think it's just a pressure fitting. There we go. Now let's pull this out, get it running, get it up to temperature, and see if our heater works. Okay, so this is our final test. It's all buttoned back together. Fan on, let's choose a air position. We'll do defrost. Alright, engine's coming up to temperature, and I can tell you immediately we got hot air coming into the cabin. What a relief. Let's try sending the air down toward the feet. Okay, no more defrost up here. Yep, and we're starting to get some movement down here as well. So the vacuum pods on the dash are a little finicky, but I even think those are starting to come back to life as well. Let's try some cold air. And when we engage the cold air, actually these center vents come to life as well. So I wonder if these are for AC and the outer vents for heat. That would make sense. Now we'll cross the AC bridge once we get there. I'm quite sure the AC doesn't work in this car, but I think that's a huge result. The fact that I have heat in this car for the first time in a year of ownership is a big deal, especially in Colorado. I am so ecstatic. My first wrenching job on the Mercedes turned out almost perfectly. It turns out that my hour or 2 of Googling paid off, and this little climate control unit was at fault. Now this was quite expensive, $250 used, the only way I could find it. However, I can return this core, get some money back, and have some more happy motoring and more money to put into the Mercedes. Well, as always, this has been Tommy with the Fastlane Classics. Check out tflcar.com for the latest and greatest in old Mercedes reviews.